I'm Charmaine, aka Debiria from Debiria's Naturals and K Susika Evolutionary Empowerment. Today, I'm gonna give us an empowerment message, and I say us because the message is for me too. First of all, we're going to give us some sound therapy to balance our energies with my Tibetan singing bowl. We're gonna do that 3 times. One for, balance. You think that number 3 isn't a balanced number? It really is a very sacred, balanced number. Okay. Now that we've used some sound to clear the energy and to clear our energies and align our frequencies, we will begin. So, I'm going to try something different today because during my meditation, as I was making breakfast, yes, I was meditating while I was cooking. You don't have to have your eyes closed, listening to your breath to meditate. It came to me that maybe I have a gift to, not maybe, I know definitely, but I know it's for a reason and I have to use it. So my gift is that I can make connections. I can see a connection where people usually don't see connections, where like some people will say science is one thing and religion is another, well, scripture or the word or spirituality is another, and they don't go together, and philosophy is a whole other thing. I can put all 3 of them together. That's that number 3 again. Okay, so I'm gonna try something different, and I actually have my Bible. It is really old. It's really old. It's taped up, like it doesn't even have a cover. Old. Like my mom gave me this Bible in 2000. My Bible is 20 years old. Yeah. Okay. So, and you see, I used it a lot. I studied a lot. Yeah, tabs everywhere. So I'm just gonna randomly open it. I'm gonna randomly stick my finger in the Bible and we're gonna read what it says. And then I'm going to pull some cards because I have some empowerment cards that I made. And we're just gonna get a message from the divine. We won't, when I used to go to church, yeah, I used to go to church. It was the preacher used to always say, we want a Rhema word for God. Rhema. I think it was Rhema. They want a living word. I think that was a Hebrew word, but I lived in the South, so they don't pronounce words very well. So they always said they wanted a living word from God, but they always was reading the same stuff over and over again. So I was like, what's that all about? Like, does he have something different to say, like, that relates to me now that I can understand now? So we're gonna see what this does. So clear my energy. Thank you, Ruach Kadesh, for your guidance, for clarity, and for a message of empowerment for us. So be it. Okay. And we're landed on the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of myrrh. Okay, so this is, if you want to read it, this is Ecclesiastes 7:4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of myrrh. Now, this is saying that those people who know what's going on, those people who have wisdom, they know that this is their heart is in mourning. Their heart is in mourning because they know what's going on and that it's not good and that it's not all. There's some devastation about to occur. There has been a lot of death and devastation. There's a lot of disregard for the truth. There's a lot of disregard for the right now and awareness of what's going on. And the heart of fools is in myrrh. Oh, they're all happy because they okay, a fool. A fool is someone who is, okay, because I'm getting 2 different messages here. Okay, so for some people, a fool is someone who is not consciously connected. They're not consciously connected. They are just willy-nilly and fancy-free. That's really a fool anyway. Definition of fool. Now, a fool could also represent a new beginning. So this fool's energy could either be on one side of understanding, someone who is not getting the message, who is not understanding. That's the traditional. That's what we've been taught that a fool means. But I'm getting a different message that the fool is actually someone who has left. Okay, so this wise and this fool, these are two different planes of existence. So on one plane of existence, the wise person is what society tells you is wise, and that this person should be doing what is socially acceptable. And what's socially acceptable has them in mourning because they're not happy. Now, this fool is happy because they've let go of all that stuff. So I'm marrying information from two different sources, because one thing that I've learned is that you have to unlearn some things to get more out of your knowing. Does that make sense? You have to unlearn some things to get more out of your knowing. So traditionally, when I've dealt with the Bible and scriptures and stuff like that, it was saying that the fool was a bad thing. The fool is a bad thing. But I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Because this wise person, they think they're wise. They know they're wise. And this is a lot of arrogance and a lot of pride. And those people are in misery because there's coming a time when arrogance and pride is going to cause a fall. Because pride comes before a fall. That's according to the scripture. So this arrogance and pride, this is being weeded out of us. I mean, we want some self-empowerment, but with empowerment comes accountability. And accountability feels like an attack to people who aren't willing to face their toxicity. And they're not willing to change. So it feels like an attack. So when I say, oh, the wise person is actually the bad person, you got some arrogance and some pride, then you got hit by that and you feel like, oh, what's she talking about? It's good to be wise. Is it? There's only so much information a wise person could get, before you realize that you don't know shit. So really the fool is emptiness. The fool is zero. The fool has limitless potential. And this person with limitless potential has joy within themselves. So when I read the scripture, at first I tried, my first mind wanted to take it to church. And, when, old things are passed away. Because that was my mindset at that time. But new mindset is understanding that a whole lot different. So again, like I said, we're gonna see how these cards relate. I made some empowerment cards, and these are quotes and sayings that over the years helped me grow spiritually and mature. So we're gonna ask Spirit what empowerment message is there for us today. Ooh, that one fell off before I shuffled. It says, there are two ways of spreading light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Okay. So, two ways of spreading light. You can be the light, and you can shine on your own. Or you can support someone's shine. You can reflect. You can be the embodiment of light. Or you can reflect it. Right now, that's feeling like until you've elevated and mastered yourself to the point where you are the physical manifestation, the embodiment of enlightenment, light, love, high frequency. It kind of, I keep hearing, you just got to fake it till you make it. That's the reflecting. You kind of got to practice it. You kind of got to, what brings light, and then you mimic it. You mirror it. You do that. It's like, so, right? Everybody's not there to where they are actually the candle. They are actually the light. They have that manifestation in their spirit. So they have to look at someone or something that is that light, and they have to mirror it back to, not just mirror it back to others, but mirror it to yourself. Like literally mirror it to yourself until your subconscious mind accepts it and you become it. So what's the next message? That's that fool's energy, like new beginning, being willing to be empty so that you have limitless potential to be filled. Yes. Okay, well, the empowerment message is there for us today, Spirit. That came out. The stronger you become, the gentler you will be. So, this is like saying, again, right back to that scripture about the wise and the fool. The more information that you obtain, the wiser you there's a lot of cards just fill out, you guys. Spirit has a lot to say about this. The wiser you become and the more information you obtain, the more understanding you have, more overstanding, the more inner standing, the more outer standing. Because we don't want to just understand things. We want to understand. We want to outer stand, show that outwardly, and we want to overstand, stand above those things that we used to know. We want to rise above in knowledge. So as you strengthen your spirit, you have more compassion. You become gentler. You have more compassion for others. You understand their struggles. You understand that there is growth everywhere in everything. You understand that everyone is exactly where they should be at a time and place and level that they should be, and that we're all making progress. And you're not so harsh, not just with yourself, but you're not so harsh with others. Now, this card, one of these, like, I'm going to show you, like, all these fell out. Now, am I going to read them all? I'm going to shuffle this stack, but I'm going to take this first one. I'm going to shuffle this stack and see what's most important to come out, because I believe everything's important. However, we are not trying to have a 2-hour-long video. Okay, so this one that came out says, half of spiritual growth is learning what you don't know. The other half is unlearning what you do know. I just got through saying about we have to unlearn some things to make some room. We must grow into our multi-dimensional existence. This is not just about living in this plane. Then I got it's about understanding that you are limitless, infinite energy, having a human experience. We must travel between worlds, unlearning thousands of years of conditioning. So that goes back to what I was going through at the beginning. Like at the beginning, I wanted to revert back because I had that book in my hand and I wanted to use that information. We do that sometimes. We oscillate back and forth between dimensions. We oscillate between, and when I say multidimensional, we can be talking about planes of existence, or we could be talking about levels of consciousness. Okay, so in 3D, we're talking about the third dimension, we're talking about this physical dimension with this physical form where matter and material realm. And in the matter and material realm, it's interesting. This card, I don't know if you can see it, is red. The words on it are red. And red is the color of your root chakra. And your root chakra is dealing with your basic needs. So when we're living in the 3D and we're living in the material realm, we're worried about materials. We're worried about how we live, where we live, food, water, shelter, our basic needs, money. Okay, that's why when your root chakra is out of alignment, your money is not, your money funny. So the next level is the fourth dimension. In the fourth dimension, from what I feel and what I understand, is you're elevating above the need for material things and you're tapping at the door of your spirituality. And you're learning to trust and have faith and listen to your intuition. However, in the fourth dimension, it's very easy to slide back. That's that person 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's easy to slide back into the third dimensional mindset where it's very self-absorbed. It's very self-serving. That's the third dimensional mindset. The fourth dimensional, you're trying to rise above it. You're in the process. You're in between worlds. And so you kind of iffy. Fifth dimensional is when you completely live in the fifth dimension. You understand the etheric. This is where you manifest from. This is where you understand that you see things from an entirely different vantage point because you're at a higher frequency. You're at a higher dimension of understanding and you're not really concerned about what's going on in the 3D world. You know it exists. Your body lives in it. But you know, this is that, okay, so there's a scripture says that we are to be in this world, but not of this world. Like we live in this world. We have physical bodies in this world. We move through it and we work in it. However, we are not of it. We're not from it. We do not, our mindset is not on the lower things, the lower frequency things. And so this is what it's saying is only half of spiritual growth is learning what you don't know. So this is the consumption part. This is when you're consuming information. You know, people say, I have a hunger. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. And you start pulling stuff in, pulling stuff in, pulling stuff in. Well, there's only so much you can pull in of new information before you start feeling like, huh? What? That don't go with this and this don't go with that. And what I learned here don't line up. So this must be a lie and this must be the truth. There are many truths. This is what you understand in the fifth dimension, this mindset. There are many truths. There's not just one. Now, in the 3D, you only see things. You only see what's in front of you. You can't see behind you. You know, even though I'm looking, let's say example, I'm looking at this camera and this camera is allowing me to see behind me. However, my vantage point is only forward. My vantage point is only forward. I can only see what's in front of me, and that's this camera. And the camera is reflecting a conscious image that I have of what should be behind me. But fifth dimensional understanding is that what I'm seeing with my 3D eyes is a holographic projection of my consciousness. It's not what is really there. With my fifth dimensional eyes, you can see 360 degrees. You can see everything with your spiritual eyes. Your spiritual eyes don't need your physical eyes. They don't need eyelids. You can see clean through a wall. You can see through everything. You can see through the illusion. And so this is telling you the other half of learning is unlearning what you do know. And what you do know in the material and 3D realm is that everything is set in stone. Everything is solid. Everything is material. Everything is 3 states of matter, solid, liquid, gas. And, you know, but then when you grew up and you got out of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, then you was like, hey, there's a 4th state of matter named plasma. Now you just had to unlearn that there was only 3 and you found out there was 4. Well, really, there are multiple truths. So there's not just 3 or 4 states of matter. Okay, maybe I'm going too deep with this, but that's what's coming to me. Someone needs to see this. I don't know. It's saying we must travel between worlds, unlearning thousands of years of conditioning, traveling between worlds, going back and forth through those dimensions. You're a multidimensional being. You are spirit. You are energy, and spirit and energy can take many forms. It's not created or destroyed. It just is. It exists. It can change forms. And the form that we are in presently is a human body. So I'm going to shuffle these little few cards here and see what comes out. And if nothing pops out, I'm going to just turn one over, because this has already been a 20-minute video. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even also as I am known. Now this is this is another scripture. This is about love. This scripture was about love. This is the scripture that's, I think it's in Ecclesiastes, about love and charity. Faith endures all things, hopes all things. But right now, that's not what this part is about. This is related to what I just said. Now we see through a glass darkly. Right now, in 3 dimension, we are only able to see part in part. But when we graduate in our consciousness, we'll be able to see it face to face. Now, through a glass darkly, that's like looking through a dirty window. That's like looking, okay, I'm going to just say what I see. That's like scrying. Okay, so I've seen people do this thing where they look through some shiny object to see into the future or to see information or whatever. And it's like seeing through a glass darkly. You're seeing through something. So let's just say your eyes are your scrying tool. And my eyes are brown. So this is my dark mirror. This is my dark glass that I'm able to see through in a 3D. But this is a 3D projection of my consciousness. So you're seeing this. But this isn't what's real. This isn't the only thing. When you rise in your spiritual consciousness and you're seeing with your third eye, when you're seeing with your spiritual eyes, then you see exactly what it is face to face. Now I know in part. I only know a little. I only know parts of this information. I only know parts of this truth. In this 3D realm, you can only know parts. But then when you're seeing face to face, then shall I know even also as I am known, as I know myself, as I am known by myself, and as I know my higher self, my consciousness. That's when I'll be able to see things better. That's when I'll be able to do. And you can't do that holding on to old beliefs, old ways of life, and old attitudes, because becoming the light, the 2 ways of spreading light, being the candle or the mirror. This mirror is this seeing through this glass darkly. Being the light is seeing it face to face. This spiritual growth where you're learning, this is the stronger you become. And then this part of you unlearning what you do know, this is the gentler you will become, because you won't be so harsh on others or yourself. As you rise in knowledge, you'll gain an understanding of the oneness of it all. And that's what this is all about. Okay. So I'm going to stop there and move on to the next thing I was going to do. And I might just still read these at the end of the video. Okay. So the crystal that I was led to pull is an amethyst. Let's see. You see how beautiful that is, that purple and white. Now this is actually symbolic. I pulled this crystal before I flipped open that book or even came into this room. And this purple and white crystal symbolize your crown chakra, which is right here, your consciousness, your higher self, your higher consciousness. Now, I did also pull up the meaning of the amethyst, the metaphysical properties of amethyst. It's a natural tranquilizer. It relieves stress and strain, soothes irritability, balances mood swings, dispels anger, rage, fear, and anxiety, alleviates sadness and grief, and dissolves negativity. It activates spiritual awareness, opens intuition, and enhances psychic abilities. So this stone is actually related to all these things I was saying, because what it does is those old ways, those inhibitions, the things that slow your spiritual growth, stunt it, actually help it, because you go through to get to. So you may have gone through some mood swings. You may need some help with balance. You may have some anger management issues, rage, anxiety, and fear. And these things are because your energies are out of alignment. Because as you're going through and learning more, you are rejecting old ways to receive new ways. And that's painful. It's difficult to go through that metamorphosis, because it's hard to unlearn something. It's hard to let go. It's hard to let go. And this amethyst is something to soothe the irritability of that. It tranquilizes you. Tranquility gives you tranquility. And that's something that'll be necessary as you grow spiritually. You're going to have to find a way to tap into tranquility and release. This is about surrender. This is about spiritual awareness and faith. This is about letting go of the 3D. This is about not being that 1 foot in, 1 foot out 4D. This is about rising to 5D. And once you break through that barrier, then you can continue. You start over with this fool's energy on a completely different path, because you don't know anything. Once you get there, you realize that all the things you knew mean nothing here. They mean nothing in this dimension. They mean nothing in this reality. This information that you have gathered and become wise on, you started all the way back over. Life is about cycles. Okay. So I have a healing mantra deck. Let's see, can you see it? The lighting is horrible. There it is. You gotta get the reflection. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. But this is another one of my empowerment decks that I purchased, because it helps you sort of focus. It gives you focus, something to focus on as you go through the day, to help you heal, to point out what it is that's troubling you, point out what it is you need to work on, point out something that you're going through, and help you. You know, it's about mindfulness. Mindfulness is about realizing, taking inventory of what's going on with you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and doing something about it, being an active co-creator of your own destiny. There is nothing to regret when you learn from the past. So, and all you're get an understanding. So, while you're going through this spiritual growth and you're seeing through this glass, as long as you learn something, you can take that to the next level. As long as you learn something. I had this quote. It doesn't matter who said it. Did you learn something? It don't matter what was said. Did you learn something? But did you learn something? And this is about unhooking the past. So this is about letting go of that old information, that old you. This is about being able. You have to have room for growth. If you don't have room for growth, then you have to make room for growth. Yeah, you have to create room for growth. You have to let things go to get, like, people who have everything feel really empty and they feel like they have nothing, because there's no room for growth. They've reached a ceiling. They've hit their climax. While people Okay, okay, I get it. Okay, so spirit just dropped this in my mindset. It just dropped in my spirit. Me and my sister were talking yesterday about the Wizard of Oz, and we were talking about these little munchkins. And the munchkins were so freaking happy. And they were little people. So that reminded me of the people lower on the social status, on a social economic status. How they seem to be always happy because they're always together. They're always having like a party or whatever or something. They was always, them little things was jamming. And these big people, these people with things, they Dorothy fell out of the sky. She had this big old house and she just fell out of the sky and landed on somebody. Yeah, okay. We'll talk about that another time. But, she really was like, felt like she didn't have nothing. Like, I just want to go home. And then she was traveling with a bunch of fools that didn't have no courage. They didn't have no heart. They ain't have no understanding. They had no mind. That's that number 3 again. She traveled with 3 fools. And on this road, there was the Munchkins sent her butt away over there to the Wizard of Oz. And once she got there, she found out, shit, he didn't have anything either. He lived in this big, huge emerald palace all by himself. And he was all alone. He couldn't do nothing for her. He couldn't help her because he couldn't help himself. So this is about, what did she learn something? On her path, she learned something. So it's like, as long as you learn something, you don't have to regret anything that you've done. This is even about things that you may not want to face in your past, things that you may want to run away from, things that you may not want nobody to know about. Accept that shit, and you did it. You did it. You weren't worried about it when you did it. Learn something from it. Make it. Use it. That's empowering. Use it. The next card that fell out is a just got through saying that, growing beyond guilt. So if someone has some guilt issues, it could have happened. It couldn't have happened any other way. This is letting you know that everything happens for a reason in divine timing. Even though we have free will, you used your free will spiritually in your spirit before you manifested on this earth. You used your free will to choose your destiny. Now you walk in it. But did you learn something? It couldn't have happened any other way. Growing beyond guilt. Unhooking from the past. Okay. Then that's going on with this Mercury retrograde, because this Mercury retrograde bringing past things around because he wants to know, did you learn something? But did you learn something? It might be bringing old relationships around. It might be bringing old people that you might have had beef with in the past, people who had beef with you, because it's giving you an opportunity. In this cycling back, is giving you an opportunity to clear that shit up before you begin a new cycle in your life. If you do not clear that shit up, it's coming back. It's coming back. Intuition flows whenever I am still. Now, this goes into this meditative energy. It's saying hearing inner guidance. This is about listening to your higher self. This card is purple. Look at that. That is beautiful. This card is purple. And then it's got this pine conography. I like that word. It looks like a pine cone. Then your pineal gland is shaped like a pine cone. This is where your third eye is. So it's telling you. And then this one right here is shaped like a pine cone. It's telling you, well, this couldn't have happened any other way. I want you to use your higher consciousness as another vantage point to see that things happen exactly as they should. This looks like a little pine seed. The other one looks a little larger, but this one has little specks around it, so it's like a frequency of telling you, your spirit is telling you, your higher self, your spirit is telling you, this couldn't have happened any other way. And then this thing that says nothing to regret from the past, it has like a seed that looks like it's opened up like this. And this movement right here, this is actually mantra, a mudra. Mantra are words. Mudras are hand gestures. This is a mudra for opening your heart space. And it's saying there's nothing to regret when you learn from the past. This is a growth in your heart, the growth in your heart chakra. And it looks like a seed, but it's also, this seed is blossoming. So you have this seed of inner guidance. The seed of inner guidance, and it's solid lines around it. This is energy. Now then you have this, it couldn't have happened any other way, growing beyond guilt. And this got that, it's blossoming. You take your inner guidance and it begins to grow. And then from there, it opens all the way up to that. Look at that. Okay, now this other one says, I am born of infinite joy. So this is that rebirth after you've unlearned those things, receiving elation. Now this is allowing yourself to feel some joy and tranquility after you've gone through dispelling that anger, rage, fear, anxiety, releasing that sadness and grief, and dissolving the negativity with that amethyst. And look, that's an entirely different creature. That's an entirely different energy. Entirely different. Like, that's a full bloom. The last card says, and it's a butterfly on here. It looks like a butterfly. Let's see. Looks like a butterfly. Leaving that bloom. Each breath confirms how awake I already am. You're already there. You've already done the work. And this is invoking self-realization. Yeah, I can't make this stuff up. And this self-realization is realizing that your wisdom, your understanding at one level, you learn from it. You carry the learning, what you've learned from it, to the next level. But you can't carry that information to the next level because there's new information to be there. So you have to master, release, surrender. And that's all. That's the end. That energy, like that's the most. That was a trip right there. Okay, so one thing I was going to do, and I think I will still do it, is I was going to introduce a product. The Burials Naturals. This is about natural, handmade bath and body products. No artificial preservatives or anything like that. Everything is all natural. And my product that I want to introduce today is a detox soap. It's rose, sage, bergamot, and sandalwood with coconut oil, shea butter, and olive oil. I just want you to see what that looks like. If you can see it, yes. Okay, so this soap has pink Himalayan sea salt in it. Pink Himalayan sea salt has 84 trace minerals that are good for the body. They extract toxins from your skin tissues and refresh and nourish your skin, and it triggers self-healing. The sage is suited for both oily and dry skin types. Its calming properties soothe skin inflammation and calms rashes. Balancing properties stabilize the production of natural oils and sebum and prevent acne breakouts. The amino acids help with relaxation. Not amino acids. I'm sorry, excuse me. I don't know why I'm talking about. I'm thinking about DNA. The aroma aids in relaxation. I don't have my glasses on, but I have to figure out why amino acids came. I'm going to go back to that. The rose essential oil is great for skin hydration, reduces signs of aging, helps with skin conditions such as eczema and rosacea. The aroma of the rose uplifts the mood, aids in depression. We was just talking about depression and fear and anxiety and such like that, giving an overall sense of well-being. Bergamot elevates the mood, alleviates stress, promotes relaxation. Sandalwood is great for meditation, promotes calmness, reduces blood pressure, and treats the skin irritation, promotes smooth complexion, demonstrates anti-cancer properties, especially in skin cancer, leaves skin feeling cool, fresh. So even the soap is telling you something about yourself and your growth and your understanding, because there's that meditative energy that we saw earlier in the cards. So you can purchase these soaps by contacting me on Facebook at the Burials Naturals on Facebook, or you can just drop me a message here on YouTube and I will send you a link. I'll just put a link down there so you can see it. I do have a website I'm working on, so I will let you guys know once that is released. But right now, the best way to get it is just to contact me. Anyway, that's all that Spirit has for us today regarding our empowerment message. I hope it resonates with you. Like, share, subscribe. I would love that. Or just continue to watch. It doesn't really matter to me. Either way, I'm doing my job. So I love you. And next time We'll see what Spirit has for us. Goodbye.